Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm Elisa, and yeah, there's been a lot of stuff coming through ever since the 11/11 portal, you know, which allowed us, yeah, ever since the 11/11 portal, that was really intense. You know, the overall energy for the month was, or the reading for the month of November was breaking through, or breaking free from oppression. So, like, the reading talked about that, but then, you know, it also spoke to, you know, the outcome being positive, but having to move through some really difficult, you know, circumstances on the way there. And then ever since, you know, the 11/11, there's been a lot of, like, pushing through some sort of resistance, and just like a really, you know, difficult moment was coming through. And yeah, so we'll see if there's been any evolution in this reading. It's just been like kind of like, you know, just little by little, but it's been definitely not an easy thing for sure. Okay. I'm just gonna pick some cards right now from the Urban Tarot, which is a deck that I gave away last month. And I've kind of cooled it on the giveaways just because it's a lot of extra work, and I'm trying to get back to work. I've been like kind of dealing with this family emergency for the last year, and it's been a really difficult situation. And so I'm trying to get back to my life. But it's just kind of like, you know, it's like a process. So anyway, well, a couple more cards. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, so you might hear my mom in the background. At the bottom we have the Prince of Cups, the filmmaker. Okay, so I got pulled off on an adventure by my mom. But so at the bottom of the deck we have the filmmaker, which is the Prince of Cups. And this card reminds me, so I had this, my best friend growing up, Joshua, and he passed away, but we had this thing that we would always talk about, because he would be like, this is my movie, I'm the director, I'm the cinematographer, I write the soundtrack, I write the script, you know. And like, we'd always talk about how we'd like walk around with our Walkman, and it would be the soundtrack to our movie, and we, you know, we were directing the movie, you know. And so this card reminds me of that and my friend Joshua. And but the message with that is just sort of like, this is your movie, you know, like, you're writing the script, like, you make the soundtrack, like, you're making it happen, and it's not up to someone else to create this life that you want to live. Like, you're writing the script right now, you know. And so I feel like that's pretty ominous, you know, that this is like kind of a big turning point that's happening right now, especially with the message. So, okay, so we got the Two of Swords, which is peace in this deck. We got Strength. We got the Game Master. We got the Hermit. And we got the Public Defender on the first row. And so this card is kind of weird because it's the Two of Swords, which to me, in the traditional deck, this card is like kind of like an internal conflict or blockage, where you're sort of like, you're not really moving forward because there's some sort of internal conflict about like which way to go, and you're just sort of like kind of stuck, you know. And so it's weird that, to me, that it's like peace in this deck, because to me, I've always kind of interpreted as the opposite. So it's weird that it happens this way. So it's almost like, I mean, what I'm getting is that we're like making peace with some sort of internal conflict. And, you know, this is going to take strength. You know, we're going to have to tame like our nature here. And then we got the game master. So like this has been coming up a lot, and it's like these like marionettes, you know, where you're like sort of like almost like manipulating the soundtrack, or you know what's going on. But it's weird because in the context of the filmmaker, you know, because it's like we're like manipulating all these like actors on the stage, and we're writing the script, you know. But in this deck, so it's the Knight of Swords, you know, which in a traditional deck, that's like a message of truth that's coming in fast. So, you know, like somebody's like changing up the script with some kind of message that's coming in, you know. And then we have the Hermit, which, you know, this can be a Virgo energy, but this is like oftentimes like someone who's kind of like going inward and trying to heal something, you know, like it's like a spiritual quest. And we have the Public Defender, you know, which this has been coming up a bunch this month. But, you know, I mean, this kind of suggests that, like, someone might be in trouble because they're needing the help of the Public Defender, you know. And then there's this whole theme this month of breaking free from some sort of oppressive situation, which, you know, it makes sense that would involve this Public Defender. But, like, from this top row, what I'm kind of getting is that there's some sort of like game-changing message that's coming in, a message of truth, and it's sort of like causing, you know, someone who's kind of done some sort of internal work to come to like a place of peace with some sort of internal conflict. But, you know, it's not gonna be easy, you know, and whatever this conflict is has been like oppressing this person for some time, you know. And then on the next row we have the Activist, the Universe, Justice, Interference, and the Kindergarten Teacher. So this is really interesting because like these messages, you know, this is like someone who's like really fighting, you know, to like change the world, you know. Like this is someone who's like breaking through oppression, but, you know, beyond for their own personal thing. Like they've got like some larger purpose, you know. And it's like they've come to some sort of like peace with maybe their destiny with respect to this larger purpose. But like this person is stepping into their power, you know, they're ascending. Like this is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, and they're taking a step up, which is gonna require strength, you know. But there's this message of truth that's like pretty much changing the game that's coming out, and it's like right over the Justice card, you know, which isn't, you know, also indicating a message of truth that's bringing in some sort of justice, you know. And it's interesting how the colors on these cards like go together too. So it's like, you know, it appears that some sort of oppressive situation is coming to light and justice is being served, you know. We have this person who's been on this spiritual quest who's like kind of, it looks like overcoming some sort of interference, because this Hermit card is on top of the interference card. And again, it's interesting how these colors match, and even just like the lines, you know, it's like wild. And then we have this Kindergarten Teacher and the Public Defender, you know. So this is interesting because these are both people working in the public sector, you know. But it's like almost like this kindergarten teacher has gotten themselves into trouble. Or perhaps, you know, these are two different types of people who are trying to make a difference and change whatever this oppressive situation is. But whatever this situation is, like, for sure things are changing, you know. And so when I went to the Radiant Wise Spirit, I got this Page of Wands, you know, a new perspective at the bottom of the deck, you know. But yeah, it's so wild how all these colors just like really matched up, you know. But I got the Nine of Wands, I got Temperance, I got the Seven of Wands, I got the Nine of Cups, and I got the Star. So it's just like a repeating message, you know, like there's this person who's just really been through the ringer. This is the Wounded Warrior card. This is someone who's just like beaten, bruised. They're really sick of fighting the fight, you know, but they're not going to give up because they've already gone through all this crap and they're almost there, you know, so they're just like trying to hang in there, you know, but it's just like enough already. Like this has been going on forever and like this person does not deserve this, you know. And then we have like Temperance. So whatever the situation is coming into balance, you know. And this like suggests like alchemy, like they're mixing this water in between these two cups, you know. So it's really emotional, but they're in command of their emotions and like things are coming into balance, you know. But we also have the Seven of Wands, so they're gonna have to like fight for it. It's not like gonna get handed to them on a silver platter. Like it's gonna be tough, you know. But at the end of the day, we got two wish cards, the Nine of Cups and the Star. So this indicates wishes coming true, but also like this healing. And again, you know, we've got the two jugs of water again, you know, so a lot of emotion in this transformation is coming to the surface, you know. And so then I went to the Mystical Shaman, and at the bottom of that we got the Sorcerer. So this talks about healing some sort of deep wound, you know, and like a toxic pattern or something kind of dark, you know. But we have, again, like these recurring themes. We got the Serpent, which is just like an awakening of like Kundalini energy, you know, like someone is like being liberated from some sort of oppressive thing and their Kundalini energy is rising, you know, they're ascending. And then we have Flow, you know, like they're not being oppressed, like they've stepped into their power and they're now able to manifest. And they've come into a state of flow and a state of abundance. And then we have Fire, you know, which this is a major card of transformation. And, you know, you throw wood in the fire, it turns into ash, water turns into gas. Like, you're going to walk through this fire and you're not going to come out the same person, you know. And this has come up a lot with the thread called Minneapolis Uprising, but also in a thread called Phoenix, because this is a total card of the Phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes as something else. And then it comes out as the Jaguar, which is like pretty auspicious because the Jaguar is like at the top of the food chain in the Amazon, you know. But like this isn't like some silver spoon, like, you know, like it's not like a silver spoon princess. Like this Jaguar is in command of their darkness and their light, you know, and because of this, they can walk without fear through all the deepest recesses of the Amazon because they are in command of their darkness and their light, you know. Like, this is like the real deal. Like, they can handle any situation because they've already been through everything, you know. So, like, they're legit. They're too legit to quit. That's what I was getting. So, this is like, I don't know, it's like a major transformation event, you know, and somebody has really gone through all this stuff, but it's actually, I mean, you can't get to be the Jaguar without having gone through a bunch of stuff, you know, but this is what gives you, like, street cred, you know, because you really went through it. Like, it didn't just get given to you. So it's like, this is a really tough moment, but it's gonna lead to good things. So it's like, you know, whatever this person is fighting for, it's important, and it's gonna come to pass, you know. And whatever obstruction has been blocking them, it's gonna get broken through. But this is gonna be a really tough moment, you know. But this is like a test, you know. So like, you have to look at it that way. Like, this is a test. Like, have you really learned all the lessons, and do you really deserve to be at the top of the food chain? Because if you're legit, you know, if you've really gone through it all, if you've really done this work, like, this is your moment, you know. So take it, you know. But it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be for real, you know. Like, this is a true and fierce test, you know. But you got this, you know. Like, it's gonna be worth it. So, you know, stay calm, harness your power, and step into this moment with grace and gratitude and strength. And this is gonna be the beginning of a new era. So wish you luck, stay positive, and we'll check in soon.